I'm going to help you understand something that nobody else is talking about. And that's how the man that loves you the most might actually be the one that's hurting your sobriety. And if you've ever felt crazy for thinking that, I want you to know that you're not crazy. If you're watching this video right now, I think that I might already know a little bit about you. You've tried to cut back and you make promises to yourself in the morning, but by the time the evening rolls around, those promises just seem to disappear. And somewhere in the middle of all of that, your marriage started to feel strange. Your husband doesn't seem to be celebrating your growth. He actually seems to be resisting it. I want you to stay with me because by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly what's going on in your husband's mind. And more importantly, what to do about it. Let me paint a picture for you. You and your husband have been drinking together maybe for years. Dates, vacations, talks on the porch, hanging out with friends over the kitchen counter, or going off to bars together. Wine was your thing, and it was how you unwound together and how you connected with each other. And it's maybe even how you made it through some of the hardest seasons of your marriage. And now you've decided, or maybe you're starting to decide, that you don't want to drink anymore. You want to feel better and you want to be present and you want to be the woman that you know that you're capable of being. But instead of support, you just seem to be getting resistance. You might be getting subtle digs or maybe even just a cold silence that tells you everything you need to know. He brings wine home even though you told him that you're taking a break. He might even be making jokes about how serious you're getting. You're fine, babe. You don't have a problem. Just have one. And then part of you starts to wonder, maybe, is he right? Are you overreacting? Maybe you don't have a problem. Here's what I need you to understand. And I want to show you exactly why he's feeling afraid, because understanding it is how you're going to let it stop derailing you. So let me tell you what the research actually shows us, and also what I have personally lived in my own marriage. Studies on couples that drink together actually show something really fascinating. When two people have built their bond around a shared habit and one person changes, the relationship itself actually feels threatened. Not because their love is gone, but because the structure they built their intimacy on is actually shifting. Your husband's brain isn't registering that my wife's getting healthy. There's something much more primal that's going on. He's thinking that my wife is changing and I don't know who I am in this new version of us. So here's the real reasons, backed by psychology, why your husband or your partner is really pushing back. He's losing his drinking buddy. Research on couples actually shows that shared drinking is a bonding ritual. When you step out of that ritual, he feels a loss of connection with you, even if he can't name it. He misses his partner in crime and he doesn't know how to ask for closeness in a sober way yet. And reason number 2 is that your growth is holding up a mirror to him that he's not ready to look into. When you stop drinking, you are, without a word, asking him to look into his relationship with alcohol. And he may not be ready for that question. And when people aren't ready to face something about themselves, like your husband or partner, they push back against the very person that's reflecting at them. And that person, my love, is you. You didn't do anything wrong. You've just started growing. And growth makes other people uncomfortable when they've decided to stay still. And reason number 3 is he's afraid of losing control of the dynamic between the two of you. This here is the thing that women aren't talking about. When you were drinking with him, the relationship had a certain type of balance. And maybe he felt like the more together one. Maybe alcohol kept you a little smaller than him, a little more dependent on the ritual that you guys shared together. Experts that study couples have noted that when one person gets sober, the other one can actually feel suddenly threatened, because the power balance in the relationship has actually shifted. A present and more clearer version of you is somebody that he has to show up fully for. And that's terrifying if he hasn't done or isn't prepared to do his own work. Reason number 4 is he's truly feeling scared right now that you're actually going to outgrow him. And he might even be right to wonder. This is the most uncomfortable truth that I'm going to share with you. I'm telling it to you because this is something that I wish somebody had told me. Studies done at the University of Buffalo showed that when only one partner in a couple continues to drink heavily, that the divorce rate nearly doubles. And that's compared to couples that either both drank or both didn't drink. Your sobriety isn't a threat to your marriage. It's actually a truth teller. And what it reveals belongs to both of you. I wanted to stop for a minute and just honor you because you came to this video probably because you're carrying something around with you that's really heavy. You're trying to change your life, and that's one of the hardest things that us women can do. And instead of having a soft place to land at home, you're actually navigating resistance from the one person that's supposed to be in your corner. That's so exhausting and it's not fair. And I want you to know that I've sat exactly where you're sitting right now. I know what it feels like to give in and go and pour another glass of wine just because you want to feel like yourself again. And I know what it feels like to feel more alone in a room with your husband than you do by yourself, and that you do not feel like he's number one. I know what it feels like that the price of getting better might actually be to lose the life that you've built together. And I also know, looking at it from the other side, that you are made for more than this. And I see it in the fact that you're even still here. Before I give you the most important piece of this, and I want to promise you that it's coming, I want to make sure that you leave today with something concrete in your hands. In the description below and in the first pinned comment, you're going to find 2 links. The first is my 5-day mini reset, and it's the very thing that I wish I had when I was starting where you are today. 5 days. It's simple and it's designed just for women like you who are ready to start their own alcohol freedom journey. And the other is a Calendly link where for a really limited time, I'm offering for you to have a free call with me. Just for you, a woman who's struggling and knows in her heart that she's made for more. If my calendar doesn't show a time that works for you specifically, just drop a comment below and I'll do my best to accommodate you with a time that works for both of us. Stay with me on this journey because what I'm about to share is going to completely change everything. So what do you do when your life partner, your husband, the person that sits next to you is actually feeling threatened by the woman that you're becoming? I want to give you the framework that changed everything for me and for the women that I help. 3 things, and they have to happen in this order. Step 1 is to get clarity within yourself first. You cannot negotiate your sobriety with somebody else, and you cannot manage his feelings before you've tended to your own. The very first thing you need to do is to get grounded in your why. Not for him, not for the marriage, but for you. I want you to write it down. I want you to know it in your bones. And when the resistance comes, because it will, you need something bigger inside of you than his fear. I want you to spend 5 minutes today writing this one sentence. I am choosing alcohol freedom because. Make sure, please, to write it down, because that sentence is going to be your anchor. Step number 2 is name what's happening without making it a battle. When you understand that his resistance is actually fear and not malice, it changes how you're going to respond. At that point, you can stop defending yourself and start leading with clarity. Why don't you try saying something to him like, I know this change feels hard for you too. I'm not going anywhere, but I want you to know that I'm growing, that I'm doing it with or without your blessing, but I'd love for it to be with you. You don't need his permission in this. You just need his awareness, and there's definitely a difference. Just try to have a conversation with him and let me know in the comments how that worked out for you. Number 3 is build your own strong foundation so that you're not relying on him anymore to stay sober. This is actually the one that saved me. When I stopped waiting for my husband to validate my recovery, I wasn't being derailed by his resistance anymore. I found a community and I found other women who understood. I built a life around sobriety that felt so genuinely full and genuinely so much better. The pull of that old life that I was living, it totally lost its grip. I couldn't believe that I'd found a place in my life where I didn't miss it at all anymore. Now, what you need is one woman in your corner that actually gets it. You might also need to be surrounded by a community that I'm developing here around an alcohol freedom journey. You need someone that's walked this path ahead of you that can hold your hand on those hard days. His fear is actually very real, but your future is bigger. And it's true that those things are both existing at the same time. And here's the last thing that I want to leave you with. The one thing that I couldn't tell you at the beginning of this video because you needed to hear everything else first. You aren't trying to save your marriage, you're actually trying to save yourself. And here comes the miracle as to how you can save your marriage. A woman that's desperate and numbed out and keeping the peace and shrinking cannot be a good wife. And you definitely cannot be the mother that you dream of being. Honestly, you can't be a good anything while you're under the influence of alcohol. Perhaps the main thing that you're doing is just trying to survive. But the woman that gets sober and faces herself and frees herself and does the work, the one who's trying to build a life that she loves, that woman brings something to her marriage and also to every room that she walks into. And it's something that no amount of wine can ever manufacture. She brings clarity and presence and the ability to love from a full place instead of an empty one. And do you know, the version of you that's on the other side of this, that's actually the woman that your husband fell in love with. And that was before alcohol made you smaller and took away and stole your joy from you. Sobriety isn't a threat to your marriage. It's actually the most loving thing that you can offer to it. Not only your marriage, but if you have children, also to your kids. If this video met you exactly where you needed to be met today, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss a new upload. There's a woman in your life that needs this video. She might not know that she needs it yet, but you do. So please feel free to share. Don't forget, in the description and the first pinned comment below, you have 2 gifts waiting for you. The first one is my 5-day mini reset, so you can get started on your alcohol freedom journey today. The second link is to my calendar, where you can get on a call with me for free for a very limited time. I encourage you to take advantage of that. And remember, if my calendar doesn't have a time that works for you, then comment below for a time that does, and I'll do my best to work your time into my schedule. I'm so excited that you stayed with me, and I cannot wait to continue this journey with you. And if you're ready, just click right here now to begin your very own 5-day mini reset. I'll see you in the next video.